look, it's going to be a massive test for us, but look, it's one we're very much looking forward to. I think to come to South Africa to play the Springboks and to play them Johannesburg is, it's up there as one of the toughest test matches you'll face.
And is there a bit of a psychological advantage you feel after last week?
Look, I think for us that we've been concentrating on how we can improve. We know the Springboks are going to come out and they're going to want to be better, but we also want to make sure that in this next game that we improve our own performance. Look, there's going to be a lot of intensity and a lot of ferocity in the first 10 minutes especially, and we know that, and we're going to have to be as prepared as we can for that. But I don't think in terms of any psychological advantage. I think that we talked before the first game that we have beaten them before and that we know how to beat them, but knowing how to beat them and actually doing it are two different things. And look, we take confidence from what we achieved last week, but we know that this is a different track, it's a different match, and I'm sure we're going to face a different Springbok side as well.
What do you think they'll do differently?
Look, I think it was a very ferocious test match last week, and I know that they've probably come under a bit of criticism, but for me it was a really, really tough game. I think that they'll probably come out and they'll want to impose themselves physically on us. They probably feel that we got away from them a little bit there, but look, I think for us we can plan tactically what we're going to do and what we're going to expect for them, but I think emotionally you have a fair idea, but it's hard to plan for that because you just don't know what to expect. But for us, it's about making sure that we're mentally where we need to be. We can't allow them to get a foothold in the game, because if you let a Springbok team, especially at Ellis Park, get a foothold in the game, it's going to be a very, very tough evening for you.
It's a special day looming for debutants on the bench. But have you said anything special to Quinton Roux, given his background and the circumstance here?
Look, I think it's something obviously that Quinn, along with Straussy and CJ, invested in a number of years ago when they moved to Ireland, and I think it's an accumulation of a lot of hard work for him. It's a special day, pulling on a test jersey for the first time, and look, he'll obviously be very nervous, especially sort of in front of probably a lot of friends and family. But look, for him and what we'll be saying and what we always say to all the debutants is just you got to relax and enjoy it, especially this next 24 hours. There's something really, really special with the build-up to an international, the nerves, the butterflies, everything that goes with it, and you got to enjoy that because, and it's a few years since I've had it, but I remember people saying that it goes by in a flash. At the time you think it doesn't, but when you look back, it does. So I think for him it's to savour this next 24 odd hours, and then just come 5 o'clock, just do what he's been doing for his province at home, and that'll be, that's why he's been selected. Yeah, it is. And I know I sort of keep referring back to the same phrase, but look, what a place for him to get his first start. And against sort of one of the toughest scrums in World Rugby, one of the best loose heads in World Rugby, and look, Tag has come on a lot since the raw, very early 20-year-old that came into the squad. He's improved beyond sight. Even his experience at the World Cup, he maybe didn't get a lot of game time, but you felt when he came back from that he was a different player for Leinster. We've experienced it a few times with Ulster, how good he can be. So look, we know that he's going to have to produce one of his best performances, but look, that's the pressure that we put on players, and with freshening up the team a little bit this week, it's giving guys an opportunity to improve on the performances of the players last week. Rossi did really, really well last week. It's now Tag's opportunity to show that he's learned a lot from him and that he is capable of moving on to that next step, and it's where Ireland need him to go to, and that's to be really challenging hard to be the starting tight head.